All good? Yonga, good to see you, Sona. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Wrapping things for the weekend. Let's see who's the winner here. Who has more than 3 tests next week? More than 3. More than 3. Anyone? 5? 4. Okay, come on, let's see who's the winner. The previous hey Mazir, the previous class that I had, there was someone with 7 tests. I don't know how she can handle that. I don't know. Who knows? Sometimes I in previous semesters I actually had this voting if people wanted in 1 week or another week, but I didn't do it this time. Maybe I should have done. Anyway, I wish you the best for next week. Okay. Okay. No problem, Azir. No worries, no problem. Okay, Joanna. Wow, 8 courses. It's too much. Again, good to see all of you. To wrap things up for the week, I know that having a week full of tests next week, your weekends will be a little bit busy studying. Try to enjoy a little bit the weather as well. Today we're gonna start. I'm taking 7 courses this summer, but fortunately I have 3 tests this week and 3 tests next. Okay, that's good. So you had 3 tests this week already. That is finishing. Okay. That's good. Yeah, I wish that they could organize this a little bit better so we don't have everything in the same week. No, they try to, but it seems a bit hard to coordinate with everybody. Okay, so end of our week number 6. Let's try to reconnect and remember a little bit of what we did last Tuesday. Can anyone remember where we have stopped last Tuesday? What were we doing last Tuesday? And then we have to leave. What was that? What did we do last week? Sorry, last class. Where did we stop? We stopped the quiz. Yes, routings. So very true, Yonga. So both are correct. We didn't do the quiz, and we stopped in the routing. We stopped in the different routing rules, okay? So we're gonna start today with that topic. Actually, in the first half of our class today, we're still gonna be dealing with that topic because I really want you to get to know that well. It's one important subject that I don't want us to overlook. By the way, I have been having conversations with students from different classes, and sometimes they say that, oh, we have 20 videos and then we skip videos and you go from chapter 8, video 4, all the way to chapter 9 already. Are you expecting us to go through every single video there? Let me explain you something. If I did not make that clear, and if I did not, I'll try to make it clear today. The videos are there to help guide you. I'm not gonna go through each line of code in the entire book, nor in the entire chapters. Each chapter, in each subject, each topic, I focus on the most important aspects. Those are the aspects that I'll be asking from you during tests, during assignments, during exercises. The other little details, they are just that, details. If I don't talk about a topic here in class, I'm not gonna ask that from you in an assignment, in a test, okay? So if you want to go video by video by video by video, you can go and you can have me to ask questions, okay? But I'm not gonna be, it's not possible to review every single line of code. If you get stuck, you let me know. To address a question, there's Samarth, when we gonna do the revision for midterm test? Or is it done? Okay, do you remember that I have released an exercise? The exercise, yeah? So here you have the exercise called Exercise Patient System. This is the exercise that you have until Tuesday to get done, so that on Tuesday I will be doing this exercise, I'll be demonstrating this exercise in class, and you're gonna have the chance to ask me questions. Okay? So as you do the exercise, write down your takeaways, your questions. This is your bonus 7 as well. Then on Tuesday, make sure that you leave Tuesday having your questions all addressed based on the exercise. Does this make sense, Samarth? Awesome. So that's the idea, okay? Okay, so as I was saying, the videos are there, but you don't have to go through each and every single one. You can, maybe if you are a more advanced student and you want to see all the details there. Otherwise, you can focus on what I'm asking from you. The videos I'm asking you to review, the topics that I'm covering here in class, those are the ones that I'll be asking from you. For instance, routing, I'll be asking from you, not midterm. Midterm will not have routing, midterm will not have database, okay? But routing, eventually, you're gonna be doing assignments with routing. You're gonna be in your final test, routing will be there because I'm extensively covering it here, okay? Anyway, let me know if you have any questions about that. Let's start today by reconnecting with that topic. So let's go to that presentation once again. And here we have our rules. So let's reconnect with that. We have 3 quizzes to cover this topic here. So the idea is to reinforce this topic in your heads, okay? Each quiz has 5 questions. So it's just about, I'm gonna give you a URL, you're gonna look at the URL, and you're gonna see, okay, this URL matches rule number 3, or rule number 4, number 1, number 2, number 5. Which rule that URL is a match to, okay? So here's the quiz. It's a way that we can reconnect with this content. Again, make sure that you have your questions addressed here about the quiz. Usually, the first quiz goes a little bit bad because things are not fresh anymore in your memories. But hopefully, after the first quiz, things will be fresh again in your memories about this topic. So let's go there. Let's open the link. And I'm gonna go for live sessions here. 1 second. Yep. Okay, so let me launch a new one. I'm gonna paste the link there in the chat. Okay. You can use the link or you can use the code, up to you. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to have a look at this. I will also open up so you can see it easily. I'm gonna open the PowerPoint here. So again, you can use the link in the chat or you can use the code that is right here. Link or code. Okay. Have a look there. I'll keep this open. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's wrap things up. I still see a lot of no answers there. Okay, no problem. Phone works as well. We are doing a quiz. Actually, we are finishing a quiz. We have 3 quizzes about routing that we are doing. I'm just gonna answer the first one. So here's how we have done. Look at this. So again, we are doing well. This class is doing better than the other ones, you know. Good. So let's have a look here. It's not marks. No, there's no marks here. Someone is asking if this is mark. There's marking here. There's no marks. This is the first one of 3, so there's still a chance for you to do the other 2. But again, there's no marks here. Just practice, just exercise. Okay, so let's have a look at this. 5 questions. I want to hear from you in the chat which rule applies to this one. If I have /soccer, which one is the one here? Which one is the correct matching? /soccer. Okay, 3, C. Yes, C and 3. That's it. You see, /soccer matches category. First rule, it needs 2 segments. Second rule, it has only 1 segment, but it needs to have the name page on the URL. That's why it's not a match. Fourth rule, it's an empty template. So this is the root of the site. Fifth rule, it needs a controller / an action. And then an optional ID here. Okay? So the match is number 3. Okay? Again, I have Padlet open. I have the chat open. If you have a question, by all means, let me know. Okay, next one. What about /product /list? Which one? Which one is that? /product /list. Okay, number 5. Number 5, but if it's number 5, number 4, number 4, number 5, number 1. Okay, so let's go top to bottom then. So we have /product /list. Number 1 is not a match because, yes, okay, we have category products, but the second segment, it needs to have the word page on it. Whatever is outside the curly braces, like page becomes a fixed element. Okay, so let me see if I can draw. Yep, okay, so let's see here. See, this part here, page is fixed. Okay? It has to be a match for number 1. It has to have page on it. For number 4, well, number 4, the template, look at this. Template is empty. So there's no segments. It's like this is the default for the website. If there's no segments, then use this controller, use this action, use this product page. Now, about number 5 here. For the people that said number 5, we have product becomes the controller, list becomes the action, but what about ID? There's no ID in the URL. What happens there? Yes, ID is optional because of the question mark. Okay? Look, now that I know how to draw in the screen, I can stop drawing. I'm gonna go for an arrow now. Let's see. Let's see if I can draw an arrow. So Look at this. Okay, so yes, the question mark. The question mark makes ID optional. Okay, great. So we have number 5. That's okay. Next one. So here we go. If we just have the slash, just a slash is an empty template. Okay, so it's gonna match 4. No, if we have no segments or just a slash at the end, it's gonna match number 4. Okay. 4th one, slash home slash index. Which one? Slash home slash index. Number 5. Okay. Very similar to the other one. Home is the controller, index is the action, ID is optional. So yes, we are back again to 5. And the last one from this batch, soccer/1. What is it? Soccer/1. 1, 5. What is that? What is that? 1, 5. Actually, here's the thing. Why it's not number 1? Number 1 is not because, again, there is no see, we don't have page. Where's page? Page is not there. Okay? So it cannot be number 1. Number 1, how, let me ask you this. How would you change this URL /soccer/1 to match number 1? How would you change that? How should it look like to match number 1? Come on, give me some. Again, I'm trying to match /soccer/1. How do I make it match number 1? I don't want to change the rule. I want to change I want to create a new URL. So it would be /soccer/page, not equals to 1, but page 1. So it will be just like /soccer/page1. Does need to be equals to 1, okay? Actually, I just posted to one single person, okay? Okay, so for this one, look at this. The number 1, which is a numeric value, that cannot be an action, okay? An action can only be a complete string. So, to be honest, this one here, it is not a match of anything. It doesn't match anything. Okay? Because of 1 here, this is not even a match for the last one. Okay, so it's no match. Any questions about that? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep this open, by the way. I mean, if you close it, I can post the link again, but keep it open because now I'm just gonna move forward to the next batch of questions. There is another quiz. Okay. So if you have it open, what am I opening here? Okay, this is something else. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just trying to. Okay, so if you go back there to your quiz, I'm just gonna move forward. You're gonna see the next batch. And if you need the link is here. Or the code. Again, it's the same code. Okay, I'm just gonna give you another 3 minutes for you to get it done. The same codes, and you can click in the image and you can see the entire image there. Okay, let's go for the next batch. I want you to leave today here being specialists on this routing thing. That's what I want to do. Okay, I think it's okay now for us to move forward here. So here's how we did. Just a few percentage here, a few people make some incorrect things, but that's fine. Majority is doing fine. Again, if you are stuck, if you are not understanding something here, ask the question. Don't go without asking. Okay? There are no silly questions. You can ask anything in private and I will answer without saying your name. You can ask on if you don't want me to know your name, ask anonymously on Padlet. That's fine. It's all good. So let's do this. Okay, so here we have which route rule matches this one: /admin /products /social products /5. It matches the very last one. That's the only one that has 3 segments: segment 1, segment 2, and segment 3. 5 becomes, let me ask you this. When you look at this URL, 5 becomes what of show products? What is 5 in relation to show products? What is it? It's the ID? Yep. Well, show products is the action. 5 is the ID. This ID is called what? It's what from this method? It's the name is ID, I know. But what is it? What is 5 for this method here? It starts with P. Now, action is show products. What is 5 for the action? 5 means what in the action? It's what for that method? It's the name of the whatever is ID, but what is that? What is that ID? Is the parameter. Is the parameter of the methods. ID becomes the parameter of the show products methods. Okay? Anyway, it's a match here with 5. Next one. Which route rule matches page 7? Page 7 / page 7. Which one? 1 or 2 or none. 1, 2, none. Come on. Okay, the reason why it's not 1 is because there is no category. There is just /page number. So it's not a match for this one. There's only 1 segment. There are no 2 segments there, okay? The reason why it is 2 is because we have page and then we have the number after that. So we have page 7. 7 becomes the product page. What is product page in relation to the action list? What is it in relation to that? To that method. Again, parameter, yes. Product page is a parameter of list. Okay? Anything in the URL that is inside of a curly braces and it's not the controller nor the action, it becomes the input parameter of the methods, of the action. Okay? So it's number 2. It's not none. It's number 2 here. Any questions about that? For the students that did not get this right, I mean, is that more clear now? Okay. I saw someone that did not get, or that got one only question correct. So again, I want to know if this person is understanding things here. Can I spin it? Yes, yes, I can, Joanna. So look at this. Let's see if I can show you an example. The best example is really the one from that video that we saw in the first day. Let me think here, okay? So let me see the codes. Let me have a look at the code here. One piece of codes. I'm gonna open something here, and I'm gonna see if I can show an example. Look here, Joanna. You see list here? List is an action in the product controller. I have opened the sports store code. Look, list has two parameters, a category and a product page. So this rule here will send the category as the first parameter because it matches the category name, and the second parameter is the product page, which comes in the URL as well. So those blocks in the URL, they become incoming parameters in your action. Okay, so you have the controller, product controller, you have the action, list action, and you have the parameters, category and product page. This is called model binding. This is called binding, okay? We are binding automatically the URLs to the parameters in the action, in the method, okay? Awesome. Okay, so let's move forward here. So for this one, we have number 2. Next, /chess. What is it, /chess? 3, chess becomes the category, okay? Just one segment. That's it. Next one, /product, /list, /2. Well, we have 3 segments. The only one that has 3 segments is the last one. We have a product controller, a list action, and the ID becomes 2. Maybe it's displaying product number 2, you know? So it's the letter E here. And then we have the last one here, /student. /student, what is it? What is the match here? /student. Okay. 3, category. That's correct. That is correct. And here's the thing. It's not about understanding that. Does it make sense to have student as a category? It may or it may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that, is this matching this rule? Now, if there is a category called the student, that's for somebody else to take care of that. Joey, how do we know student is a category? We don't. But let me ask you all this. Who will take care of finding that for us? Who will find whether the student is a category or not? Who will find that for us? In our MVC diagram, who's gonna handle that? Who's gonna find out if there's a category called product or not? Controller. If I ask, controller will ask the question to whom? Who's gonna answer that to the controller? Who's gonna give that information to the controller? Okay, I'm trying to access the student category. Who's gonna tell whether or not there is a category called student. Who's gonna tell that? Yes, that's the model, okay? The model, which is the link to the data, to the database, okay? That's the one that's gonna tell that. So routing doesn't care if the model, if the category exists. It doesn't care if the controller or the method exists. Somebody else will take care of that. Routing just knows how to route, what is the controller, what is the action, what are the parameters, okay? Those are the three questions that the routing is able to answer. Who's the controller? What is the action? What are the parameters? That's it. It doesn't care about anything else, okay? So in this case, we have 3. And to make you the experts of routing, we're gonna go for the last one. We're gonna go for the last batch here. So let's jump to that quickly here. And I promise you that we're gonna move away from routing, because I get it, you won't be able to stand routing anymore. And I may have closed the page here. I think I did. No, I did not. Again, I just have too many windows open here. Okay, so hopefully you still have your quiz open. I moved forward here and you're gonna see the last batch. I'm gonna give you a few minutes, another 3 minutes to do this. And again, I will crowd you as the experts of routing. All your routing wishes will come true today. The same URL, I'll paste the URL once again, just in case. Last one, I don't want to see anyone incorrect. I want to see everything correct. I want to see all green in the last quiz. Everything is green so far. I can tell you this. Everything is green. Come on, keep up, keep up. Okay, so let's have a look. Here's how we have done. Okay, very good, very good. Again, those 16 incorrect here, make sure that you understand what's going on and you ask the questions, okay? So, here we have, okay, so which routing rule matches product slash page 10? Which one? Number one, okay? Again, page matches pages. And then look, product page cannot be anything. It has to be an integer, okay? And it's a match. It's a match of that. Okay, so that's a good one. Next one here. Which route rule matches home? Which one matches home? Okay, 5 doesn't match, and I'll tell you why. Actually, let me ask you, why slash home is not a match for number 5? What is missing there on number 5? The action. But isn't action the default? Is it index the default action? Well, when we have our own rule, we have to say equals to index if we want to make it optional, okay? If we want to make it with a default value. In this case, this rule, it's mandatory to have a controller and then the action after that, okay? Well, here's the thing. Home is actually, the correct answer is 3. It's actually 3. This is a match for number 3. But you may ask, it does make sense to have a home category. I get it. Okay, Why not 5? 5 is not a match because we only have one segment in this URL. We only have home. In map number 5, we need 1 and 2 segments. The second segment is not optional. We don't have equals to list here. It's mandatory. I have to have a second segment. If the URL has no second segment, it's not a match. Only if I had action equals to list, then I would have a default value for action, then it would be optional and it would be a match. But like this, it's a very rigid rule, this one. Does it make sense, Basanta? I don't know. Tell me. Okay, so it matches number 3. Okay? By the way, a rule can match more than one item, but it will enter in the first one in order, in the list, okay? If a rule, if a URL matches more than one rule, it's gonna get the first one that it finds, okay? Okay, next one, we're almost done. Page 20, well, which one is that one? Page 20? 2 or 3? Let me ask you this. Page 20, can it match 3 as well? Is it a match with 3 as well? Actually, it is a match with 3 as well. But which one comes first? 2 comes first. So again, it matches the second one first before it gets to this one. So it never gets the chance to do this one here. But if you just look at them individually, page 20 will match 3 as well. Okay? I can have a method called page 3 or page 20. But in our case, it's going to be 2. Yep. Almost done. /chess/move. Well, the only one that can match that is the last one. ID is optional. We are good here. And last one. Okay, a tricky one. Which one? Page 1. No, the name 1. Not the number 1, the name 1. Which one is a match here for this one? None? Is it 3? Is it 2? Let me ask you this. Why it is not 2? What is the problem with 2? Yes, Nita, that's correct. Joanna, it's an integer because we are enforcing that product page is an integer. If we did not have this int here, it would match. It would match this one. But because we have int, it has to be an integer. So it becomes then number 3. It becomes like page 1 is a category. Now, if you ask, does it make sense to have page 1 as a category? No, it does not. But that's fine. Routing doesn't care about that. Somebody else will take care of that. Yonga, if page 1 is the name of a category, it would be 3. But here's the thing, Yonga. It doesn't matter whether it's the name of a category or not. Routing does know that. Routing does not know about the data. It just knows about how can I break this URL. Oh, it breaks like this. Okay, then it's gonna send to the controller. The controller with the model are the ones responsible to deal with that. If there are no categories called page 1, they deal with that. Routing says, I did my job. I called the controller. I called the method. I sent the parameters. You guys take care of the rest. I'm out of the game. I'm out of the loop. I did my job. You get that? Did you understand that? That the job of the route is just that. Break down the URL. That's it. Doesn't care about anything else. Okay, are we good here? Any more questions? Can we move on from routing? So now I declare all of you experts in routing. I don't want to see one problem, one single issue with routing anymore. Anyway, we're gonna move forward here really. Once you come from the break, we're gonna have a 5 minutes break. I'll take the attendance and we're gonna move forward with partial views. Okay, so take 5 minutes, we come back, take attendance, and we move to partial views. I'll see you in 5. Okay, so again, as you hear your name, just give me a hi, I'm here. Aslan, Anusha, Basanta. Aslan, Anusha, I don't see you. Beno, Barath, and Gaofeng. Beno, Barath, and Gaofeng. Gopika, Gukirat, and Jayanth. Gopika, Gukirat, Jayanth. Joanna, Juhi, and Karandeep. Joanna is there. Juhi as well. Karandeep. Manpreet, Mazir, and Mehmet. Mukahit, Anita, and Pavani. Mukahit is there. Anita as well. Pavani. Peitong, Prince, and Ravi. Peitong, Prince, and Ravi. Salih, Samarth, and Sona. Sona, you're there. Samarth, you're there. And Salih as well. Ravula, Sayed, and Tang. Sayed and Tang. Yonga, Zenab, and Deng. Zenab and Deng. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. Let's see here. So we did. Okay, so let's talk about, in our second half now, let's talk about another topic. A topic that is important for your assignment, for assignment 2, okay? Assignment 2 is there as well, okay? Okay, so one second, I'm just trying to find someone here. Sorry, just looking at the wrong place. One second. Okay, so your attendance has been set as well. So again, let's move on to the other topic, which is partial views that I just closed. For whatever reason, I just closed it. Partial views. So, as part of your assignment 2, partial view is also there, okay? Use this time to get familiarized with partial view. Partial view is not that hard, not that difficult, okay? We're gonna see that we're gonna be able to handle that very, very easily. So today we're gonna be understanding what partial views are and how to apply them, how to use them, okay? You know, in a way, as the name says, partial view is one type of view, okay? Okay, as I said, I'll be going through the midterm exercise in the first class next week. The midterm is your second class of next week. So you're gonna do your midterm in a week time frame. Your class on Tuesday will be the one that I'll be going through the exercise with you. I'm answering to someone that is asking in the chat, okay? Okay, so today we will be looking at how to use partial views and how to apply them. Partial views are, like the name says, it's a type of view. The way we create partial views is similar to the way we create regular views, but they are actually views. You can think of them as small views that can be used inside other views, okay? As we have seen, we are always dealing with this diagram, always dealing with the web application. We have dealt with database, around model. We just saw routing. We just went through quite a lot with routing. And today, it's about view. Now, not about view in general, but specifically about partial views. Partial view is one component of views, okay? So, what we're going to be talking about is available in the book on chapter 8, page 235. You can review the video as well. There is one video on chapter 8 that goes through partial view step by step. I'm going to go through that right now with you. So, the PDF that is on Centennial, those links are active, so you can access them. And you can watch this part 14 of chapter 8 is going to show you step by step how to put together this partial view that I'm going to do right now. So, in a more formal way, a partial view is a Razor markup file, a .cshtml. Look, the extension is the same as a regular view. Same one, same extension, okay? I did not forget your attendance. I saw already, and I stopped and I put your presence there, okay? So don't worry about your presence. I'm answering someone in private here. Don't worry about your presence. Your attendance is there. Anyway, a partial view has the same extension as a regular view, and it's used in conjunction with views. You call a partial view from inside a view, okay? Now, the question is, when do you use a partial view? And I'm going to show you the reasons why you may want to use a partial view. You may decide to use a partial view. So maybe you want to break down a large view that you may have. You may have a long view, a complex view. So the same way as when we have code, when we have C# code and we want to break it down, how can we break it down? How can we break down a C# code? What are some of the ways? Just think out loud. There's no wrong answer here. Just think out loud in the chat. How can you break down a long piece of code in C#, let's say? What are some of the things that you could do? What could you do to break down a long C# code? That's it, Ravi. You can use methods, functions. You can break it down into different classes, okay? Here, when it comes to views, the way we break it down to make it more manageable, to make it more modular, here's the keyword, to make it more modular, to make it more reusable, is by using partial views, okay? You can break down a long view into smaller parts, okay? That's one reason. The second reason, maybe you are using over and over and over again the same piece of HTML with maybe some Razor code there as well. Maybe you are using this all over the place. And you say, you know what? Instead of me having to write this all the time, I'm going to move this code to a partial view. And I'm going to call the partial view whenever I need that. That's a second reason to use a partial view. Okay? So the first one, break down a big view. The second one, to reduce duplication of HTML. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to leave you just with theory here. I'm going to give you a concrete example. I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate that to you. Now, the same way as we know when to use it, we also should know when not to use it. When is it that is not a good option to use partial view? Well, if you are trying to maintain common structure elements of your site, of your page, like if you are trying to, if you have style sheets that you are referencing in many views, that's more about layout. If you have the main structure of your page, like the menu navigation, like the footer of the site, maybe a side navigation, a left-hand side navigation. Those are structural elements, and they are better placed in a layout file. Okay? Partial views, they are simpler than layouts. Okay? Also, you should not use partial views to create very complicated codes, to have very complex razor codes. Okay? Usually, in that case, you're gonna opt to use a view component. View component is very similar to partial views, but it's a little bit more complicated, a little bit more complex, a little bit more powerful as well, but more complicated to get there. We may or may not talk about it in the course, but let's see. For now, keep in mind that partial views are used for simple code, for simple HTML, with not a lot of razor. If you have a lot of complicated logic, you might be better off with a view component. Okay? Now, how about we have a look at one specific example. Okay? You have access to this code already. This code is on eCentennial. If you go to on eCentennial to content, then to files, Sport Store 8, here is the file, the source file that I'm going to open. If you want to open it as well, you can. If you don't, that's fine. You can just follow along. But I'm going to open this one, and then I'm going to go through the steps of part 14 so I can demonstrate step by step how you can put together a partial view. Okay? So here I have the code, which I'm going to open. Okay, so I'm gonna run this code, the application, so you can see what is it that I'm changing. Okay, so let's have a look here. I'm gonna run this. Look at this. We have an arrow here. Okay, actually, it's quite good that this arrow show up because I want to demonstrate, because you may come across this arrow. Let me ask you a question. Has anyone come across this arrow before when doing the exercise, when doing the Sports store, when practicing sports store, anyone has come across this error? Awesome. So Yonga heads, Tang heads. How did you solve the problem? How did you do that? How did you sort that out? You could not? Okay, good. Good. Because now I'm going to show you. But before I show you how to fix it, I'm going to show you why it happens. Yes, think. You can delete the database and it will fix. But that does not explain what is the problem here. Okay? So I'm going to explain you the problem and how you're going to fix it. I don't want just to tell you how to fix it. I'm going to explain why. So look what it's saying. There is already an object named product in the database. It's telling you this. Migration always creates a new database. Yes, correct. But look, this line of code is telling that it's trying to create products table in the database again. Let's see if the database has already that table. Look, there is already an object named products in the database. It means that the migration is trying to run itself again. The question is, why is that? Why is it trying to run again? Well, let's look at this. Let's close this. I'm going to stop the code. Let's open the database. I'm going to decrease this. Let's go to View, SQL Server Object Explorer. Let's open our database. So look, we have already a products table here. Why is migration running again if the table in the database is already there? Well, what is a table that stores the name of the scripts, of the migration scripts that already run? What is the name of that table? Anyone knows here? That table that stores the history of the migrations? I think that's, do you know that you can actually write on my screen? If in Zoom, you can annotate my screen, you know, so you can do that as a student there. Anyway, see, it's right here. Look, the table is right here. This table, it stores the names of the scripts that ran before. Now, let's look at this table. Let's look at the contents. So I'm going to right click the table. I'm going to go to View Data. Look at the name of the script, of the migration script that ran before. Look at ours. The one that is selected, can you see when that one was created? Can you see the date that one was created? Yoga. So again, tell me what is the date of the one that is in my solution. It's different. Look, the date here is last year. It's September 2019. This is when I first put together this exercise. Exactly thing. So it is different from this one. That's why. Because look at this. If you have created sports store from scratch on your own and you run migrations, you have a newer migration script than the one from my files. So when you download my files and you try to run mine, this ID is different from the ID that is there. That's why it says, oh, this migration script never run. I'm gonna run it. it tries to run, but the problem is that there's already a product table here in this migration, tries to create it again. That's why you have the conflict. So Yonga, so I have Sports Store and Sports Store 2, which I made yesterday, but I already have products data for Sports Store. So there are okay, so you have two databases, Yonga. But you have products data for Sports Store, so they're already okay. First of all, keep one database. Don't start messing around with too many databases. You're gonna lose track of that. Okay, so keep one. Now, to fix this, there are a few different ways. Okay, the one that I like the most is I delete the database and I run the application. Then the migration will run. It's going to create a new database, and a new database that has the updated ID of the migration. Okay, that's the easiest way. The other way, you can delete both migration and the database, but then you have to recreate the migration scripts. So I'm going to easily fix this by right-clicking the database, deleting it, make sure you close existing connections, confirm. Now, when I run the code again, and it reaches this point, it's going to run the migration scripts, but now it's going to work because the database is not there, the table is not there, it's going to recreate everything for me. Okay, so I'm going to run this, and it should be fine now. Okay, it's not. Oh, I know. So here's the thing. Sometimes it takes a while for Visual Studio to refresh the cache. So Visual Studio still thinks that there is a database there, okay? But there is none. So what I have to do here, I have to refresh this. And I think that I may have to close things here. Actually, here's the thing. I may have to close IIS Express. I'm gonna go to IIS Express, the icon in the taskbar, and I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna exit. You can also close Visual Studio and open it again. Now it should work. It's gonna take a little bit more time because it's gonna create the database for us and add the products. Okay, so here we have the products. The database must be there. Let's have a look. View SQL Server Object Explorer. If I refresh this, I see the table. If I look at the contents of the migration history table, if I view the data, now look, it's a match. This matches the one here, you see? Now there are no conflicts anymore. Awesome, Yonga. That's good. So again, pay attention to this because it may happen, it will happen to you if you are running your own, if you did your own sports store, and if you are using now my version of the sports store, okay? Keep that in mind. I think that in the future I may remove this migration to avoid that. But again, great that now you know. Okay, so we are here not because of the data, but we are here because of the partial view, okay? So let's look at that. So our partial view, what you're gonna do, we're gonna move the creation of each product to a partial view. We're gonna do that there. We're gonna move this code that creates the products to the partial view. Well, that's the first step. We decide what is the code that we want to move to the partial view. Now, to be quite honest, this is just a simple example. Our code is not very long, so there will be no reason really to to create a partial view, but I'm gonna do it because I would like to demonstrate that. So I'm gonna go to our current view, which is called list.cs.html, and the code inside, you see this for each loop? For each is looping through the products. There's a products collection, and we are looping through it, okay? So we're gonna move this code inside the for each loop. We're gonna move this to the partial view, okay? We're gonna remove it from here, move it to the partial view. Edison, why are you doing this with this code? Because it's not long. It seems to be short code. But here's the thing. If I move this to a partial view, now I can produce the product details or product summary anytime I want from anywhere in my different views. If I have another location that I want to show the product details, sorry, the product summary, I can do that by calling our partial view, okay? So, after we determined what is the code that we want to replace with a partial view or to move to a partial view, we need to create the actual partial view. The recommended location to add the partial view is inside the shared folder. Write this down. Recommended location to create partial view is the shared folder. Okay, write a note about that. I'm gonna right click there. Actually, you could create under product as well, but ideally save it under the shared folder. So under shared, I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna go to add new item, and then as we do with Razor page, sorry, not a Razor page, Razor view. We're gonna create a Razor view, but you're gonna rename it. There is no hard rules about how to name a partial view. I'm just gonna give the name of the example here, but there is no pattern, there's no mandatory wording that should go in the name of the partial view. Okay, so I'm gonna call it product summary. Okay, product summary dot cs.html. I'm gonna confirm that. I'm gonna click on add. Here's the file. This is the initial content that gets loaded, the initial code. I'm gonna delete everything. It's gonna be just a blank file. Okay? Okay, good. Any questions so far? Okay, so with that, now I can copy this HTML code. You see HTML here. You also see some Razor codes. Again, it can have both of them. That's fine. So I'm going to copy this, Control C. I'm going to go back to our partial view and I'm going to paste it there, Control V. Okay, so here we have our partial view with the code inside. But very similar to what we have with views, partial views can also have models. Can also have a model. Okay, so you're gonna add, it doesn't have to, like a view. A view does not have to have a model. Usually it has, but it doesn't have to. A partial view as well. It doesn't have to have a model, but this case here, we need a model there. Okay, so you're gonna have a model at the very top here. Now, if I ask you, what is the type that, okay, question here. What if I need a slight view change for each page view? Can I use a partial view? What is that change, Julie? Because again, if you need a slight change, maybe you should not use a partial view, you know. Or maybe you can send that slight change to the partial view. Maybe. Again, it depends on what is that slight change. If you are changing the HTML a little bit, well, maybe then you don't have enough to be shared there across the different views because you need them to be different, you know. Well, margin CSS more than HTML. Again, if you need to change elements here, it may not be the most appropriate use of a partial view, you know. Partial view, it really means that this content, this code will be the same. We can send a model into the partial view. We might even be able to send a view bag, but I have not tried to use a view bag with a partial view, to be quite honest with you. Okay. Partial view or layout, which one you'd recommend in a real project? Okay, good question, Mazir. Actually, let me take your question and expand on that. Someone from another section, the person asked for this. Look, very similar to yours, just a little bit more comprehensive. The person said, just to improve my coding standard skills, I have a doubt. In a web application, we have headers and footers. Okay? Header consists of navigation bar. Footer has social media links. Let's have a look at, for instance, the Centennial College. So at the top, we have a navigation, we have the logo, we have learn more. At the bottom, we have links, social media, copyright notice. So the question is, in this case, where should we write this code into? A layout file or create a partial view for that? I mean, which one is better according to the industry standards? Again, Mazir, very similar to your question there. So I'm gonna throw this question back to the group. What do you think? Do you think that the menu navigation, the footer, do you think that those elements would be better in a layout or in a partial view? What do you think? See, I tend to agree. Those are structural elements of the page. If you put this in a partial view, for every view that you create, you have to explicitly call the header, call the footer for each view. In a layout, you don't have to do that. In a layout, you can just put that in the startup code and you could just say the layout is there. You don't have to do this anymore for each view. Okay? So, Mazir, to answer your question, I would recommend that structural things that are common across views, you make it as part of the layout. However, small elements that are not necessarily present on all pages, on all views, make that as, and it's a common element, make that as a partial view. Okay, so my mind figured out with standard HTML file, where is layout change it, okay? Okay, so again, does that make sense, Mazir? I mean, what I explained? Okay, awesome. So again, my recommendation should be that, Salih, any partial view sample on Centennial College website. Salih, to be quite honest, I don't know what is the technology used on Centennial's website. I'm not sure what they use here. Okay, I'm gonna give you some another example here, but again, from their web standards, I don't know, and there's no way that I can know just by looking at the interface, you know. I can tell you what could be potential places here. For instance, you see this styling is similar to this one. This could be a partial view. This slot here. Of course, the content changes, but you're gonna see that in our content it will change as well. Let's go back to our code here. So I was about to ask, we have a model in our partial view. What is the type of our model here based on what you see? What should be the type here? Which type should we link to the model of our partial view? Ravi, Is it product, or maybe is it a collection of products? Because here we have a collection of products. So what would you say? Are you sticking with products, or maybe it would be a collection of... Actually, let's do this. Let's get rid of this, because this is our code that we're replacing. I'm gonna save here, I'm gonna write a piece of razor. I'm gonna call this HTML class, and I'm gonna call the partial methods. When I call partial methods, I have to say what is the name of the partial view. So the name is product summary. Okay? Now, I need to send the model to the product summary. Again, which type is it expecting here? Is it a list, or is it one single product? In the loop here, inside of the loop, are we accessing the collection or one product at a time? The list is here in the for each, but inside, every time we loop, we access one single product at a time. Inside of the loop, what is the name of the object that holds the product? What is the name of it? Inside this loop. By looking at the for each, what is the name of the object? P. P is our model here. So we're gonna say this, look. We're gonna send P to product summary. And there, in the product summary, I'm gonna say product here. So we are sending the product P inside the loop, from inside the loop, to our partial view. Okay? We are calling the partial view. Don't worry about the squiggly green line. I will show you what that is in a bit. Okay, so again, we are sending the product to the partial view via the model binding. Okay? Great. That's okay. Good so far. What else do I have to change here in the partial view? What is it? What else do I have to change here? At model, what do I need to change here, Ravi? Anything there? Okay. So we need to replace P. Is that what you're saying? Okay, great. So I'm assuming we should say this. Is that right? Model, and then model here, and then model here. Is it? Yes, Juhi. Yes, Tank. Correct. Rav, you almost got there, but yeah. Just a little change here. This is capital M, capital M, capital M. Remember, model at the top is lowercase m because we are dealing with a directive. Here, in the code, we are dealing with an object. So the object name is called model. Okay? Okay, how about we give this a try? How about we test this? Let's run. Look, it didn't change much. From a UI perspective, nothing changed. You changed the code, but UI-wise, it's all the same, okay? That's fine, but it's working fine. See, we can navigate, we can do all of that, and now we are using a partial view. Okay? I'm gonna close this. Any questions so far? Any questions about how to create? Again, remember, product summary, you should put the partial view under shared. That's the preferred location, okay? You move the code that you want to move to the partial view, and you call partial method from HTML. Think, I don't see any advantage to create a partial view. Okay, good point. Think. I'm gonna go back to the 2 points that is about when we use partial view. Okay? Look, I have 2 reasons. First, to break up a large HTML file into smaller components. Now, did we have a large file? We did not. I admit that. We did not. However, because I wanted to demonstrate to you how to do it, I had to pick the one that I had there. Okay? But if you have a large one, you can break it down by using a partial view. Again, our case, it was not a large one, but I decided to break that down anyway because I wanted to demonstrate to you. Now, it's not our case, but you may have a duplication of HTML. Now, look at this. You can call thing HTML partial. You can call this line, a line like this, anywhere in your code, in your views, that you want to show a product. It's gonna show the name, the price, and the description for you. So you can easily reuse this code anywhere in any view that you may want to display products. That's another reason for that. So again, I'll leave it up to you to see if this is enough reason to use it, but that's the advantage of using that, okay? Can partial view read CSS style? I can put CSS style here. However, when you are dealing with CSS, the best place to put that, if it's going to be across different views, is in the layout. Common CSS, common JavaScript, put that in the layout. Those are structural elements. So my recommendation is to put them in the layout. Okay? Okay, let's see here. Thing. Razor component isn't for that purpose. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Ravi, it will be more useful when we use JavaScript framework like Angular in our project, right? I don't think so, to be quite honest, Ravi. I don't know what you mean by why it would be. I mean, are you implying to load parts of the code dynamically as partial views and JavaScript would load them individually? Is that what you're thinking here? This is not about that, you know, Ravi. To be quite honest, those views, they, in the end, it goes all together as one single request back to the browser, okay? It's not that the browser is grabbing those elements asynchronously. It's not. The browser will receive the whole page. So this is not Ajax, okay? And I'm not talking about the city. I'm talking about the technology, okay? So again, it's not, I know what you're talking about, but it's not like that, okay? It's not that you can load different parts of your view dynamically from the UI. It's not like that, okay? It's all in the server side at the end of the day. Mazir, would you please explain when you click on page navigation, what happens on click events? Page navigation. Okay, let's run this. Page number, I get it. So when we click through it, Mazir, well, first of all, we have to figure out what is the action and what is the controller. So look, products page 2, we have to have a look in our codes to see what is the match there, because we need to know the controller. So let's go to the startup. So products and page, it's using the product controller, the action, the list action, okay? So let's go to the product controller, to the list action, and here I have the product page number. If there's no product page number, the default will be page 1. Here in this code, what it's doing is this. It's going to the products collection, and it's skipping, because here's the thing, what is the size of our page? The size of our page is four elements. So I have to retrieve the products based on the page number. If I'm on page 1, it's gonna say 1 minus 1, 0. It says skip 0 records. Don't skip anything because I'm on page 1. But look, I'm only taking the page size. Page size is equals to 4. So if I'm on page 1, it says skip 0. It means that it's not skipping any records, and take only 4 records starting from the very first one. If I'm on page 2, it becomes skip 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1, 1. Page size is 4. So 1 times 4, 4. It says skip the first 4 and take the next 4. That's for page 2. And it goes like that. Every page, I skip some records and I get the next 4. That's what it does. Yes. Yeah, skip is skipping the records. Skip the first 4 records, the first 8 records, so that we can perform the appropriate paging. Okay? That's it, Mazir, in a nutshell. That's what it does. Oh yes, I'm gonna go back to that, Peitong. Okay, good point. So Mazir, I'm gonna go back to the content there, to the topic. Okay, so the squiggly line. Let's go back to that. The reason for this, whenever you see a green squiggly line, is the code is telling you that there might be a better way to write that. Okay, so I don't know if you remember that week that you did the presentations, there was one topic that we skipped. It was the asynchronous topic. That's where this is applied to. We can use, when you use a partial views, we can use something called asynchronous methods. Methods that can call something and it doesn't need to be waiting for the return of that. It makes your code more efficient. Your code performs better. It becomes, in a way, you can think of it as it becomes faster, because instead of calling a method and sitting there waiting for the method to return, we can use a keyword called await. Await means that call this method, but you don't necessarily need to wait for that. Now, to be able to use the await keyword, we have to use asynchronous methods. Partial is not asynchronous. Partial is synchronous. It means that it runs and it waits there. We have to call the asynchronous version of partial, which is called partial async. The same method, but one is synchronous, the other one is asynchronous. Okay? So by doing this, our code performs a bit better. Now, we have a small code base here without too many products. This will not make much difference for us, but that's what the squiggly green line is about. Is this way is more efficient than the other way that we were using before, than the partial, just the partial methods. Okay? That's it, Peitong. That's what this is. Okay, great. And if I run, you're gonna see that it runs the same way. And here it is. Okay, same thing, running fine, but again, now we have improved a little bit the code and made the call to the partial view asynchronous. the performance becomes a little bit better. Okay? Great. So, today we have covered partial view. You see, partial view is not that hard. In your assignment, I'm telling you exactly which part of the code you're going to move to a partial view. I'm telling you exactly that. This is what you have to do. This is it. Okay? Can you change page size simply? Page size. Okay. Let's see here. Page size. Yeah, right here, you see? Instead of 4, you can change to 5. Yeah, you can change to 1. Let's give it a try. I'm going to change to 1 and let's run this. Okay. And look, now each page has 1 item. And now we have 9 pages because we have 9 items. Okay? Make sense? No problem, no problem. Okay. So, to wrap things up, I'm going to leave you with 2 things. I know next week is test week for most of you. But I'm going to leave you with that. If you have a chance, if you have time, if you want to do it, you can. There's an exercise that I'm leaving with this topic. So you can download a student system from Centennial, step number 8, and I'm asking you to convert a student system to use a partial view. You go to list students view and move the markup code inside the for each loop to a partial view. Very similar to what we did just now with the sports store. If you want to practice partial view, if you want to give this a try, give it a try. This is not worth bonus. Your bonus for next week is patient exercise. Patient exercise, it's your training for midterm. Patient exercise, you submit as your bonus 7. Don't submit the code. I don't want the code of patient exercise. I just want either 3 questions or 3 takeaways, or 2 takeaways, 1 question, however you want to put it. Takeaways and questions for next class. Get ready for that for your Tuesday. Tuesday, it's about this exercise, patient system. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to answer your questions. So use the time from now until Tuesday to do your exercise and get ready for the test, okay? That's about it. Before I let you go, we're gonna do a quick quiz just to recap partial views here, okay? So I did already, Pavani. I did the attendance already. You may not have been here, okay? But I did. Okay, so let's do this quick quiz, and we will be done with the day. Here it is. I'm going to share the code with you. Well, I did the attendance. I'm not saying that I put your name in the attendance because you didn't answer, you know. Anyway, again, when I do the attendance, it's the time that you guys should be around, you know. Again, you cannot just show up. I mean, let's leave it. Okay, live session here, partial views. Here's the code, give it a try. Partial view is right there. Let's have a look at this. Just before I let you go, let's do this last one, please. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes here to give this a quick try. Okay, 2 minutes, partial views. Let's review, recap what we have seen so far about partial views. Okay, everyone, let's do this. Let's have a look at our quick quiz here. Okay, so to wrap things up, what is the most efficient way to call a partial view? I just show you that. Okay. So await partial async, it becomes an asynchronous call. It doesn't need to be waiting there for the call to be finished. It performs better, okay? So let's see. Assuming you have a partial view called faculty summary.cshtml, in which folder should it be stored? Which folder? What is the folder to be stored that? Under, and again, it's not mandatory, it's recommended, okay? You can store in other folders as well, but it's recommended to store by default partial views under views shared, okay? Which item below is not correct about partial views, okay? It helps to break large markup files. It helps to decrease duplication. It can accept model. We just did that. We accepted the products model. However, it's not a good use for complex coding implementations, okay? So that's D. Thank you. That's it. And last one, which feature of .NET Core do we use to implement common visual and structural markup elements? Yes, that's a tricky one. It's not a partial view. We're going to use a layout file to do that, okay? That's it, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Try to get some resting time as well. I know it will be hard for you for next week, but enjoy the weekend. Enjoy a little bit the weather, hot weather. I hope that you can refresh yourself as well over the weekend. Get your exercise, patient exercise done for Tuesday, and I will help you out. I will demonstrate how to do it so you can get ready for your test next Friday, okay? Have a great one. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye
Hi,
now.
sir.
Yes.
Can you mark my attendance?
I
was
already did.
late.
I already did.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Joanna, Tang, Zenab, Mazir. Thank you so much, Sona. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bukahit, you too. Have a great day. Thank you, Mehmet. Thank you, Deng. Thanks so much. Enjoy. Get some rest. Enjoy the weather. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, too. Juhi. You too. Bye now.